Hey guys, it's Bryce from Sports Talk with Bryce. Great to have you guys back here for the second week of Undisputed with Bryce and Mason. I'd like to introduce my co-host, Mason Reimer here. Alright, so we got a lot to talk about from this past week, so let's get right into it. We had the Cowboy-Conner fight last Saturday.
It was unbelievable.
I mean, 40-second fight. I mean, is that what you were anticipating going in?
Not at all. I thought Conner was going to have a slow first round. Complete opposite of what I thought was going to go down. I thought he was going to slow down because he's got a new personality, fighting style. That's like not what I don't think anybody expected.
Do you think he made kind of the return to more of a younger Conner, like back to how he came out?
Like Cage Warriors?
Yeah.
Like when he was in Cage Warriors, he was shredding through competition, just like he showed on a few weeks ago on Saturday.
I mean, he mauled Cerrone. Mauled him.
In Cerrone's words, he didn't expect to get that kind of impression that quick. I mean, in my opinion, Herb Dean gave him a chance. He let Cerrone try to get back into the fight, but when he's getting beat like that against the cage, you can't really let him keep fighting.
You can't let him keep taking shots like that.
I think Conner should fight Gaethje next. Justin Gaethje at 170.
You have him fighting Gaethje. Now, Floyd Mayweather has called him out, put a promotional post up after the fight. Do you see any possibility of that happening?
I'd say Floyd is a very good businessman, and to get I can't even think about how many digits it is. A ridiculous amount of money. It's like in the 300, 400 millions to win. You'd be dumb not to take that fight.
But does Conor look to get that third belt?
As far as like legacy for Conor, besides money, I don't see Mayweather like caring about his 15-0 record. I think Conor is back in the game and he wants the belts. He wants to win. He wants to be the best, and he's proven it. He said it time and time again that he just wants to be the best, and the money is aside.
Okay, now you got the future for Cowboy. A guy who's on record, most fights in UFC history.
Most wins,
most finishes.
Most head kick knockouts.
Yeah.
Just the records go on.
If he retires now, he goes down in history as one of the best to ever do it. Do you think he retires now?
I don't think so. I think people say he's worn out, washed up, but
he still competes at a high level. He loves to fight. He said that in his interviews,
He just fought arguably the best fighter of all time, the best mixed martial artist of all time, Conor McGregor. Select few have won double belts like he has in the style that he has, 13 seconds with no hands against Eddie Alvarez. It was remarkable what he did. But, to fight a person that can train to that magnitude is just unbelievable. And
So you're saying you would almost give him a one-up just for taking
that fight? That's ridiculous, because it's crazy how hard Conor trained. And I watched
for sure
the videos, and Cerrone was training just as hard. It was unique fight. I think it would have kept going if Cerrone would have matched Conor's animosity in the first round, his energy in the first round. It would have been.
Well, Cerrone was expecting that distance type of a fight, that kind of long brawling, just.
Which I'm surprised though, because Conor's typically run and gun straight off the rip, and he showed it again, and Cerrone wasn't really ready for it. Let's move on to the Mets.
Before the Mets, next weekend, we all know Super Bowl matchup, Super Bowl Sunday.
Oh yeah, Super Bowl's more important.
Chiefs and 49ers. The Mets. You could talk about their.
We'll get to them later.
Super Bowl Sunday, Chiefs, Niners, everybody. Who do you think has the advantage?
Who do I think has the advantage, or who like?
Who do you like? Then tell me who you think's got the advantage. Because this morning on Sports Talk with Bryce, I said the Chiefs. I think they got too much offense.
I would agree. I think their offense is very strong, but the 49ers is just such a well-rounded team that I think hopefully it's going to be a good game, in my opinion, because they are just.
Do you have high scoring or low scoring?
Low scoring.
Really? With a guy like Mahomes, though, I mean, 8 passing
It's hard to
touchdowns through 2 rounds of the playoffs.
I say it doesn't go above 30.
He's making plays all over the field. I mean,
He's an athlete.
to come from behind in both games like he did and just go off in the second quarter, I mean,
He's marking his revenge on what happened last year. He's not too happy.
I mean, is it the start of a possible Mahomes era? You were kind of seeing a slight decline in the Brady area.
In a throwing, passing
the Rodgers
quarterback.
era moving out.
Yeah.
Like, we're seeing all those
And we're
guys
seeing-
kind of gently decline. Do you think the Mahomes era is...
The Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, like running quarterback, athletic, can throw the ball ridiculously long and
Put it wherever you want.
put it wherever he wants it, and then he can run for 15 yards if he needs to. You know, I think it is a new era. It's
a new style of the game.
It's
a new style of game.
That's how it is back and forth. I mean, in the 90s it was passing quarterbacks. In 2000s we had Mike Vick, and
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of somebody else.
The game evolves as the players do. I mean, I feel we're seeing a new era move into the quarterback position.
But I have the 49ers winning
Can I get a score prediction out of you?
28-24.
28-24 Niners.
Niners, yeah. It's going to
Okay.
be a close one, but
gonna
I
be a
don't think
dogfight.
I don't think it'll go above 30.
On the topic of football, Tom Brady. I mean, a must talk about. Can you see him in another uniform?
Yeah. He loves his championships. As a Jets fan, I believe me, I know what it's like to feel the Tom Brady pressure.
But do you see him going? You see him going West Coast then?
I see him going to the Chargers. I think the Chargers want him.
They have
I mean,
a
just
great
like anybody would want him. I mean, he's the best. I mean, you can't say that he's fallen off. His numbers have only either went up or stayed the same since he was a rookie.
Since reasonably 2003 was one of his rougher years, but after that,
I mean, me and my analyst, we were talking about the Patriots were in the Super Bowl almost the whole decade. Every single time they were in the Super Bowl. I mean,
Tom Brady has made 9 trips to the Super Bowl.
he came up to play, or showed up to play.
So you're saying there's no possibility that he retires? Because I don't personally see it. When I look at Tom Brady, I see a competitor who lives for the game of football.
I see him like Connor.
I think that's what he loves to do. I mean, he wants to continue to win Super Bowls.
The money's nice, but the legacy's better. He wants to be the best, and I think so does Tom Brady. And
Do you see him winning another Super Bowl?
if he goes to the Chargers, no.
If he stays in New England, you're saying you see him winning another?
I don't know about winning another, but I see him going to the Super Bowl again.
You see him returning the Super Bowl but not getting the win?
They do well in the playoffs next year. That's my prediction. If he stays in it.
Now, with Jimmy Garoppolo obviously making his name on the 49ers, do you think it was a mistake that the Patriots traded him with Brady kind of declining now?
I think the Patriots know what they're doing.
They've been doing it for years.
Yeah.
I mean, they've found success.
Bill
at all
Belichick
levels.
is a phenomenal coach. I mean, I'm a Jets fan and I'm giving him props. Like he can do so well with, I'm not going to say so little, but very unknown people. Like he can turn somebody from nothing into somebody.
I mean, look at Brady. I mean, what was he drafted? Number 196?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Going down as greatest quarterback of all time, very arguably. So
I wouldn't argue that. So I think he's the best.
On the other side of football, we have baseball as always.
The best sport.
Yankees news. Derek Jeter has been elected to the Hall of Fame. First ballot.
Not surprising.
He's 1 vote shy of a unanimous vote. I mean, only Mariano Rivera, former Yankee, best reliever of all time, has been unanimous. Do you think?
Why do you think that is?
I mean, Mariano came from a very made-up position, reliever. I mean, it was not a known thing at his time. But I mean, leader in saves. I mean, he was the guy you wanted to put the ball you want to put the ball in his hands at the end of the game to close it out. I mean, Mariano, watch some tape. I mean, the guy could carve you up. I mean, he did everything in his power to save the game and get wins for his team. But the biggest question a lot of people are asking is, do you think that Jeter being one vote shy unanimous hinders his legacy?
No,
as a
not at all.
shortstop?
Just because he didn't get the votes doesn't. He's a phenomenal player. His numbers show it. 3,000 hits.
5-time world champion.
You can't. For people who are already in the Hall of Fame to vote on him, I don't know. Who are you to say what he did wasn't great?
Because we've seen Cal Ripken go through the same thing. All those guys. I think the people that vote are very precise, and I think he deserved to be unanimous. I think we could all agree that.
He was phenomenal. He took over baseball. He was the face of the MLB for the longest time. He retired at a good time. He made a bunch of money.
Yeah, the guy made history. You look at his 3,000th hit being a home run, his last ever hit being a walk-off at home. Those are things that only happen to heroes. Those perfect moments that only a kid can dream of.
I would very respectably put him in the Hall of Fame. I would have no problem saying he's one of the greatest of all time.
For sure. On the other side of New York, wonderful teams, we have the New York Mets, who finally make the hire to finalize a deal with their new manager, Luis Rojas, after they had to part ways with Carlos Beltran due to the Astros cheating scandal. How do you feel about your new manager coming into town?
Young gun. I think he's got some experience with younger players.
Coming out of the minor managerial positions, yes.
And he coached in the Dominican Summer League, which, arguably, players that come from the Dominican and from Cuba, they're very, they need to be set on the correct track. It's hard to group together a group of players that he grouped together. He was very good at managing younger players.
Now, do you think, though, that he's going to find the same type of success there? Because, he's coming up and, he's coached minor leagues, but he hasn't seen this level of competition yet in his career.
I'm hoping it won't be too rough of a start. I think that the Mets have kind of a basis right now, following last year when we turned it up at the end of the year. We were doing okay, and I think the what should I say? Footwork or not footwork?
The framework.
The framework has already been established, and he can hopefully bring it all together.
You had Beltran, though, a guy who's been around the game. He's been there as a player, very successful player might I add. And I think he would have done good. But you bring in a guy like Rojas, and it's what more can you expect than a 500 season? I think that's.
But as a rookie manager, I would take the 500 season as the Mets.
Yeah, he's managing a team that hasn't seen success in a long time. I feel like they're coming under new ownership too, and I feel like the new ownership coming in wants to see a team like the Yankees succeed. So do you see Rojas lasting as a Mets manager?
I think his history of the minor leagues has established himself inside the Mets, where he can bring up players that he already knew. He could take advantage of him managing the single A and double A, and he can bring up guys that he already knows and develop them into greater players. Hopefully make a basis for the rest of the season. Hopefully in the future he can manage. But we'll see. I don't know. He's a rookie MLB manager. So
yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. Pitchers and catchers should be reporting here in the next 2 to 3 weeks for baseball, and I just hope the Mets win a couple games, honestly. But thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll see you next week.